After a long 4-year wait, it's nearly time for the Isle of Man to return to the prestigious Island Games, which are back for 2023. A huge Manx contingent of around 250 athletes and staff will descend on Guernsey for the Games, taking place from the 8th to the 14th of July. As we now find ourselves in the final lead-up to the event, we've been catching up in recent weeks with some of the different sports the Isle of Man will be competing in early next month to find out about their hopes and ambitions for the Games, as well as hearing what the event as a whole means to them, both as a competitive platform and as a beacon of community spirit across the world. The sport we feature first in the series is in fact the first sport to publicly announce its team, table tennis. 8 players will represent the Isle of Man in the sport in Guernsey. 4 male players of Scott Lewis, Duncan Alexander, Glenn Callow and William Dallock-Dugan, and 4 female competitors of Catherine Venus, Carenza Baker, Sonia Shaw and Wilma Dallock-Dugan. The person overseeing them all is someone with plenty of experience of the Island Games, table tennis team manager Maggie Mulhern. I caught up with her to find out where she thinks her team could shine and also, importantly, how it feels to see the Island Games finally returning.
It's great really, because at one point we thought we'd never see them again. After COVID it really sort of mucked everything up for everybody and everything was getting put back again. So no, it's really great that Guernsey have decided to hold them. They should have held them in 2021. So it was, they might hold them, they might not, but no, they've gone ahead, so it's great. We're all looking forward to get down to Guernsey.
And not just from an Isle of Man preparation perspective, but you mentioned Guernsey there. They've had to jiggle around all sorts of things around the pandemic, and it's still going ahead, if not a little bit late. So how much commendation do you have to give for the organisers to be able to put it back on again after all these different barriers they've had to put up with?
Well, talking about the table tennis coordinator, Derek Webby as he's known, he's had it in place since probably 2020 COVID. I know the tables have been in place down there, all wrapped up, ready to go. So from his point of view, it was probably quite easy just to get up and running again. Other sports, I'm not quite sure how they've got on. But table tennis is up and running.
Let's get to table tennis then. So Team Isle of Man, there's going to be 8 players, 4 male and 4 female. And if I'm right in saying table tennis was the first to announce as well, was there a particular strategy behind that in terms of we're going to announce early, or did it just fall into place that you could?
As team manager and coach, I like to get my team in place as quickly as possible. I think it benefits the players to know that they're definitely being selected. We can then put practice and training sessions into place. It's just easier for me to actually have my team in place, and I say everybody knows that they're going from an early date.
The fact that you are able to announce and want to announce as early as you can, and how does that help your preparations? Because I'm guessing that must mean you've got months of time behind you to work around, not just your schedule of getting things together, but also the athletes taking part.
Yeah, I think the players need to know as early as possible as well. It gives them a chance to get off island, do some attend some Grand Prix, do some training sessions, and doubles in table tennis, the men's and ladies and the mixed doubles, the pairings are quite crucial. You can pick up points here and there in the team event, so to actually get players who wouldn't normally play together as a doubles pairing practicing as soon as possible, it can only be good for them.
Does that present any particular challenges? Because if you've got players who are very good individually, for example, and like you say, you don't know the pairings until they're actually put together, so you've got athletes on and off island, so has it had any challenges at all for you?
Not really, because I see most of the players week in, week out. I organise tournaments, so I know how they get on in tournaments and that, and who they play doubles with. So for me, it's probably easier to actually mix or match the pairings up. Sometimes it can be a bit harder. Not all, just because you're a good table tennis player in singles doesn't mean that you're a good doubles table tennis player. But luckily, all mine can mix and match in whatever I ask them to do.
For those who don't know, I guess, maybe like your table tennis in and out like you do, what are the key qualities that you need in doubles compared to, say, being a good singles player?
Being able to communicate with your partner, being able to move, which is quite good, because in table tennis, in the doubles, you play alternate shots. So if you're receiving serve, you have to get out of the way so your partner can then hit the next shot. So a bit of flexibility, movement, I say, but just being able to gel with your partner. If you play with someone for a long time, you just get to know where they're going to move and what sort of shots they're going to put in. So I say the more practice we can get for the people who don't normally play together, the best it is, I say, for them.
What are you hoping to achieve out there? Because some sports might say we want X amount of medals, we want to get X amount of games for this player and that player. What are you hoping?
Basically, I'm hoping that everyone has a good time and enjoy themselves. If we come back with medals, that's a bonus. We'd like to build on what we did in Gibraltar. We did come back with 2 bronze medals. Kay Venus picked up 1 in the ladies' singles and then teamed up with Corenza Bacon. They picked up 1 in the ladies' doubles. So it'd be nice to come back with some more medals. It's not the be-all and end-all of why we're going, but yeah, it would be the icing on the cake if we could come back with some medals.
Because the squad you've got those who have experience of playing at this type of tournament, this type of level, and those who maybe don't. I think when it was first put out there, you said it's a mix of youth and experience in there. What's the thinking behind that?
The last couple of games, I've only taken a very small team, sort of 4, maybe 5 players, and we're not actually in. Table tennis isn't in Orkney in 25, and it's looking unlikely it's going to be in Ismon. So the ones that have got my experienced players now, they're not old, but if we're not in any more games till 2029 when it comes to the Isle of Man, it's an awful big gap. So we really needed to get the youngsters into it. It's a totally different tournament from anything they've played before. They've all played for the island at junior level. Normally it's a 2-3 day tournament. This is sort of you're away for 8 days. So yeah, I just felt I needed to bring the juniors in this time rather than just take the experienced players, get them ready for what's going to come in the future.
And speaking of the Island Games as a concept, there are those who think it's quite a special occasion. I mean, in table tennis, for example, we've got players who compete in UK competition for the Isle of Man, but what makes the Island Games special?
All the islands coming together. We're all in the situation where we live on an island surrounded by water. It's hard to get off to go and actually play anywhere else. We've got a team this year from Falklands. I don't know how many days it's going to take them to get there, but they were in Gibraltar. 2 of the gentlemen turned up in Gibraltar. They found a lady so they can put a team in this time. And it's just the friendships, I think, that you build. I mean, some of the players are still playing. My first games was 97. And you walk into the hall and the players that were playing in 97 are still there, okay. Some have moved up like me onto coaches or team managers. But you just sort of walk in and just carry on the conversation that you had with them last time you met. It doesn't matter if it's 2 years or in this case it'll be 4 years. I think it's just the friendships that you make, that they last for a lifetime really.
Thank you for having the stamina to make it to the end of the Manx Radio Sportscast. You're clearly someone who has their eye on the ball at all times. Want to hear more about the latest sporting news across the Isle of Man and much more? Then might I recommend you take the plunge and subscribe to this series or a wide range of Manx Radio podcasts at your favourite podcast provider, so that, in a flash, all of our finest moments take a winner's place on your smartphone. Thank you.